Happy New Year! Welcome to my channel. My name is Jessie, and today I am starting my first reading vlog of 2024. I'm just trying to get through my first 3 reads of the month of the new year in this particular vlog, and I'm hoping that I will be more consistent with vlogging throughout the year, but we're hopefully going to start with a strong start. I currently have 3 books that I would like to get read this week and in this particular vlog. Today's New Year's Day, so it's Monday. Today, Chris and I and Rowan are about to go to my grandmother's house for New Year's Day lunch. And then after that, we'll even go to Chris's parents' house for New Year's Day dinner. And I'm hoping I'll manage to get a good bit of reading done. I'm not feeling particularly social, but these are events that we go to every year, so I do want to be there. I would also like to read while I'm there. And then tomorrow is my last day of the break. And then on Wednesday, I go back to work for teacher's work day, and Thursday it is back to school. So I should be able to read. I'm not in school anymore. I finished my master's program back in May of 2023. So in theory, I should be good to get lots of reading done. And we'll kind of see how that goes. The first book I'm reading for this particular vlog is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I started the audiobook while I was at the gym this morning. I only read about 10%. But I will say that in my series audit, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to go up before this particular video, I said that Practice Makes Perfect is like a brother's best friend romance. I was wrong. It's going to be more of like, I guess, a bodyguard trope, because in this particular book, Annie, who is Noah's baby sister, she's the youngest of 4. She's decided that she wants to get married and have this perfect marriage relationship before she's 28. Because, you know, her parents had this perfect relationship, and as far as she can tell, Noah and Amelia have this perfect relationship, and that is her goal. And so she goes on this date at the very beginning of the book. It goes awfully, and then the bodyguard, I forgot his name, but he ended up at the same restaurant, and he's kind of distracted by her. His thing is, so far from what I know, because, I don't even know if I'm 10% into the book yet, but his thing is that he just wants casual flings. He doesn't want a true relationship because his parents had this awful marriage. And he also just found out his brother, who he thought was in the same boat as him relationship-wise, he is engaged now. So I'm assuming that's going to cause some issues for him throughout the book. So that's probably one I'll primarily listen to in audio, mostly at the gym, maybe a little bit while cleaning and doing housework with my headphones on. The next book that I started this when it came out back in November, and I took a break from it because I had a bunch of Libby holds, but I really want to get Iron Flame finished this week. My sister actually finished this before I did, and yesterday at New Year's Eve, she accidentally spoiled something that's going to happen. So I need to get this read so we can talk about it without her accidentally spoiling anything else. But I'm about a fourth of the way through it. This book, fantasy, I do tend to read fantasy a little bit slower, and so I think I really just need to sit down, get into it, and I'll be golden. The last book I would like to read is Assistant to the Villain. I don't remember the author's name. However, that book is currently due back on Libby in 2 days, so there's a chance I may not finish it, or I may start it and not finish it, or I may not even start it. So we'll kind of have to wait and see how things go from here. I will update you once I make more progress in any of these particular books, and I'll let you know how things are going. Alright, good morning. It is the next day, and yesterday I read 58% of Assistant to the Villain. I didn't make any more progress in either of the other 2 books I was reading, but I had so much trouble putting down Assistant to the Villain. I really thought I was going to finish it last night, and I'd wanted to, but I didn't want to finish it without giving an update to this vlog, like partway through. And so I just wanted to let you know how I'm liking it so far. And so far, I'm loving it. I'm having such a good time with it. It's kind of absurd in the way that My Roommate is a Vampire was a little absurd, but it's also kind of fun. And I think like the tone of this book, like the goofiness to it, is kind of similar to that. There are some serious elements to it, but at the same time, it's kind of humorous and cute, and I'm really enjoying it so far. But Evie kind of ends up in this crazy situation where she happens to find this guy called the Villain in the woods, and he ends up offering her employment. There's also wanted posters for the villain all over their town, and if you've watched Tangled, it's essentially the same style as Flynn Rider, where the villain's pictures don't look anything like him. However, the villain doesn't seem to mind that, and it seems to be kind of an on-purpose thing, because at this point in the book, we are led to believe that the actual king knows who the villain really is anyways, so why would he let everyone think the villain is this old ancient man when he's really like a 30-some-odd-year-old man maybe? Evie ends up in that situation. Evie has kind of gotten under his skin, and not necessarily a bad way, but he definitely, you know, has feelings for her, wants to protect her, and she has also taken it upon herself to really protect him and try to figure out who is currently trying to kill him, because there have been a few instances come up where there was a bomb in his office and a few other things. And so we know that Tristan, the villain, is just really set on getting revenge on the king for something. We don't know what yet, but I actually enjoyed that. I've actually been enjoying that the book is kind of third person dual POV. So we have Evie's third person point of view, and then a little bit later at some point we'll have Tristan's third person point of view. And I will also say that, like, while reading this book yesterday, I realized that if this book weren't written in third person, I don't know if I would be liking it as much. I like that it's written in third person because I think that kind of keeps Tristan and Evie from becoming overly cringy. I think, especially with the way Evie is kind of characterized as, if this was written in her first person point of view, I would have a harder time getting into it. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to run the dishwasher and the washing machine. I wanted to do this update before I started those because they're kind of loud. My heater might be a little loud, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm going to start the dishwasher and washing machine, and then I'm going to go sit down and read for a little bit while I wait for either dishes to get done or laundry to be moved over. But that is it for now, and I'm most likely just going to update you when I finish this book next. Hey, it has been a few hours since I last checked in, but I just finished Assistant to the Villain. I've been working on reading it pretty slowly throughout the day as I've been doing other stuff, but while my bread was rising, because I'm trying to make homemade bread, or homemade garlic bread, to go with our dinner tonight, I finished the book, and I have to say that I really loved Assistant to the Villain. I think it was a great start to the year. I did end up giving it a 5-star rating, because I felt like towards the end, something about the end just didn't sit right with me. I feel like there weren't enough questions answered, and I know there will be a second book, but I still feel like it wasn't conclusive in the sense that it just felt like there were still too many questions that I wanted to have the answers to now. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed kind of just this last little bit of what all happened. There were several twists about who the possible mole in the villain's little company is. And those twists were pretty good. I really thought it was going to be someone for a minute, and it wasn't them. And the person it did end up being doesn't just come completely out of left field, but I definitely didn't quite see it coming, and so I really enjoyed that. I also really enjoyed kind of the way Evie at the very end has decided she's going to embrace kind of being evil too, even though her idea of evilness and the villain's idea of evilness don't really seem all that evil. I'm assuming, you know, them going to the lengths that they are willing to go will kind of be what ties that together. The next book is Apprentice to the Villain. I think it might come out this year, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. I'm thinking I might play my audiobook, Practice Makes Perfect, while I do a few more things around the house. But otherwise, I'm going to fill out my bullet journal and fill out a little small review. I want to get back into posting reviews onto Instagram like I did in 2022, where I would post a review for the majority of the books I read as an individual post. I think I want to try to do that again. We will see though, of course, how that all plays out. It's not something that's really on my goals list. It's not a concrete goal. It's just something that I know I want to do, but I also don't know that I want to fully commit. I have been productive today, but I also feel like I have accomplished nothing, and I still need to wash my hair, I need to redo my nails, and just overall get prepared to go to bed at a decent time because I destroyed my nighttime routine over the break, and so I need to start working on fixing that. Good morning, it is Thursday. I didn't do an update yesterday, even though I had intended to. I had to drive a little bit further after school than I normally do since it's a work day because I had to go pick up Ro from Chris's mom's house. And then by the time I got home and organized and did all my cleaning, I just was tired. I'm currently getting ready to go to school. I am oiling my nails because I'm trying to grow my nails out, and I'm using a combination of TikTok and Reddit tips, and we will see if it works. But I'm updating my progress on Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams, and I have to say, so far I am really loving this book. It's really cute, it's really sweet. It kind of, I don't really know if it technically has the grumpy sunshine trope because Will is not necessarily grumpy. That's the hero, by the way, but he's this bodyguard. He is very jaded towards love and relationships because of his experience with his parents growing up. His parents had a very toxic relationship where his mom repeatedly cheated on his dad, and they stayed together, you know, for the kids, but ended up harming the kids. And he, of course, because this is a romance book, is currently in the middle of falling in love with this girl in a small town who, as far as he knows, and as far as she's trying to convince herself, never wants to leave the small town. She wants a happy, cozy life where she gets married and has a few kids and is content. And like I said, that's as far as like she's willing to let herself think. But they end up in this fake dating situation, or really practice dating situation, where Will is teaching her how to date because according to her, she is awkward and uncomfortable, and she just has trouble dating, and she wants to meet her marriage goals. And Will originally wasn't going to, but she kind of doesn't really trick him into it. It's not like a bad thing, but she does, you know, take advantage of a situation that arises after the offer is made through Amelia from the first book. And she takes advantage of that situation, and he's doing it. And they have a lot of chemistry. They're really into each other, but she keeps having to remind herself, like, you know, he's gonna leave at the end of the month. He doesn't do relationships. He doesn't love me. And he keeps having to remind himself that as well. Like, I don't do relationships. I'm not a relationship guy. I'm leaving at the end of the month. I'll probably never see her hardly ever again. However, he's definitely developing feelings. It's kind of where we're at now. Both characters are definitely into each other. Both characters don't want to admit it for their own reasons. Annie because she's trying to protect her heart. Will because he's also kind of struggling like Annie is with keeping up this appearance that he's pretty much always had, but he's kind of a softie, and they're really cute together. I am excited to finish this book, hopefully today. I'm about 70% of the way through it, 70 or 75%. Yesterday I got to listen to the audiobook to and from work. I don't think I'll really get to listen to it today anymore until I get home from work. Since Rowan's getting older and his listening ears always work the best when I don't want them to. This is not necessarily something I can listen to with him in the car. I don't think, if I remember correctly from the last book, it is closed door for the more intimate scenes. However, just in general, some of the concepts and stuff I don't want to expose Rowan to. I will ideally be updating this vlog once I finish the book. Hopefully I'll finish it tonight. I think I can. I've been listening to it on 2x speed, just because that's an easy speed for me to listen to while reading. 1x is too slow, and then as I get more into a book, I can increase it. Sometimes I can increase a book to 3x speed, but not frequently. Anyways though, I'm about to go pack my lunchbox and make sure Rose nap box stuff is ready to go, and we're probably about to head to school. Hey, it has been a while since I last updated this particular vlog, but I wanted to jump in and let you know that I finished Practice Makes Perfect, and I absolutely really loved it. I had a great time with it. It was a 4-star read for me. I love the way the story concluded. I love the way Annie and Will kind of, they respect each other's boundaries throughout the book. I love that Annie got to experience a lot of her first things with him, like not beyond intimacy, also, getting something she'd always really wanted for a long time but would never get because she was kind of nervous to do it because it didn't fit who people thought she was. I like the way the story wraps up with Will's character kind of looking into exploring other career paths or other interests that he has, because of course it's a romance, they get together, and I love the way that it just all works out. I love that Will was willing to kind of bend some of his, not necessarily rules, but his wants, or like, what he'd always said he not wanted to be with Annie. And I love that she also recognized that she still needed to learn more about herself and also wanted to respect his boundaries. So just overall, it was a really great read. I do hope there are more books in this series, and if there are, I fully intend on reading them. But like I said, it was just a really sweet read. It's also been a couple of weeks since I finished it. I had meant to film this conclusion earlier in the month, but I just kind of kept putting it off or forgetting or waiting to the last minute. So I wanted to do it right now because I'm about to edit this video because I would like for it to go up tomorrow. I think I talked about wanting to read Iron Flame in this vlog. However, I don't think I ever picked it up at all in the first 7 days of January, and I really wanted this book or this video to only be during the first 7 days of January. I have since finished fourth Iron Flame. I finished it Tuesday night and it was really good and I loved it, but I'm not really gonna talk about it much here just because I didn't talk about it any other time. But that's pretty much it for this video. I am trying to still get back into videoing more frequently, trying to do more vlogs and put out more content. I've done really well so far this month at staying consistent on Instagram, and I'm hoping that throughout the year I will also stay consistent on here as well. Anyways, though, that is really it for now, and I guess I will talk to you later. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Bye.